What is going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com, and I got a free pick for you from this New England Patriots versus New York Giants NFL matchup going down on Monday, December 1st, 2025. But before we get to that free pick, if you were looking for my best bets, the games that I love the most, the ones that I have the most money on every single day, you can head to Pickdawgz.com, or you can click the experts tab or the premium picks tab at the top of the page. You can also click the link in the description of this video below to get taken directly to my capper page. We've got so much free pick content here at Pickdawgz that you know the plays on the premium side are the best of the best. That's what Pickdawgz Premium is for. But we've also got our Inner Circle VIP services. Now, these aren't for everyone. They are for people, who are betting more than $1,000 or more per game, which is the requirement to be accepted into this service. But we've had a lot of big bettors and high rollers join this club already, having a lot of early success with the one-on-one coaching, the bankroll management, early releases. So if this sounds like something that's for you, reach out to the number on the screen. We'll get you some more information. But let's get to this one between the New England Patriots and the New York Giants. New England 10-2 on the year, 7-5 against the number after a 26-20 road win over the Cincinnati Bengals in their last matchup, while the New York Giants 2-10 on the year, 7-5 against the number as well, coming off a third straight cover but sixth straight loss after a 34-27 overtime loss to Detroit in their last game. And I think a lot is going to be made about the Giants and this little cover run that they've been on, and how they played a lot of close games. They lost to the Bears, the Packers, and the Lions all by one score. But I think part of that is sort of the dead cat bounce that comes from the coach firing of Brian Daboll. Mike Kafka took over the offensive coordinator as the interim head coach, and like I said, the Giants have been able to compete, but I don't know how much longer it's going to last. I know New England is dealing with a rash of injuries right now, especially, Will Campbell, who was just placed on injured reserve. And you are likely to get, Jackson Dart back sooner rather than later. It could be as soon as this game. He was a full participant in practice. But even then, Jackson Dart, he provided the lift for the New York Giants early on this season. And he's brought this offense, for the most part, to an offense that is, 11th in rushing yard, 11th in total offense per game this season. But the thing is that this is a team that's still very rush heavy. They're leading the NFL in rushing attempts per game and top 10 in rushing. They're in the top half of the league in passing. But the thing is that a lot of that comes from game script, where they're playing from behind a lot of the time. So they have to pass the football. They're in passing downs constantly. And New England, well, this defense is second against the rush in the NFL this season. So your rush-heavy run offense of the New York Giants is going into a buzzsaw in New England, who's been able to just shut down the run. They're just outside the top 10 in yards per carry allowed this season. And even if you just look at the last three games for New England, the defensive numbers have taken a slight uptick, but not to anything where I think that the Giants are going to be able to all of a sudden break through. The rushing attempts per game have actually gone up in the last three games. We're talking about 30 rushing attempts per game on the year, but 35 rushing attempts per game in the last three. So, the Giants probably going to try to run the football. I just don't know how well it's going to work. Now, for New England, like I said, you do lose Will Campbell on the outside, and that is a big loss for New England on the offensive line. But, Drake May has been having a fantastic season. He was 22 of 35 last week against the Bengals, 294 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. But right now, this New England Patriots team is playing with confidence. I keep going back to the fact that not only this team won 9 games in a row, but it just seems like so long ago, and because it was, where they lost at home against the Las Vegas Raiders, who have been a disaster this year, and they lost at home to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But they've been winning games, and the offense has been consistent. It just seems like this team has a new swagger under Mike Vrabel, and I think at a certain point, the New York Giants brass has to worry about protecting their franchise quarterback for the future in Jackson Dart, and not necessarily throwing him out there amidst what is a lost season. And when this team is 0-7 on the road already this season, I just don't know if it's going to get any better before it gets any worse. I just think that New England, we're obviously going to know how the Bills do in Pittsburgh on Sunday by the time this game is played. And unfortunately, I am recording this video before the ending of that game, so we'll have to see how it shakes out. But if New England can go from a team that was expected to not really do a whole lot in the AFC East this season, to a team that could potentially be 11-2 with a 3.5 game lead on the Bills going into the bye week in the division, with a few weeks to play and only one head-to-head matchup remaining. That would be huge for this team. And I think that they try to go out and leave no doubt in this matchup. I'm going to go with New England here. I'm going to lay the 7.5. That is my free pick for this game. Thank you so much for checking out this free pick video. Let me know who you guys like in this game in the comment section below. And remember, if you're looking for my best bets, the games that I absolutely love, the ones that I have the most money on, you can head to Pickdawgz Premium, or you can click the link in the description of this video below and use the promo code PICK. It's PICK at checkout. Get 15% off your purchase. Best of luck. We'll see you guys soon.